We just finished up this restoration, turn of century Kohler and Campbell piano that is a family heirloom for a sweet lady up in Salt Lake. We didn't do any work on the outside. We just rebuilt the inside. I guess her mom, back when she was little, many years ago, her mom refinished it, and she didn't want to do anything more on that. But the inside was in original condition, which is to say, poor after 100 years. I think anyone would be in bad condition after 100 years, especially something as extremely mechanical and made of wood and felt and leather and cloth and things like that corrode. So I'll just start. We did the keys and we actually refinished the sharps. She wanted us to keep the sharps original, but just kind of refinish them, and I think those turned out beautifully. Then down here, the original toe buttons were totally worn and in poor condition. So I took some of the old toe buttons. I'm referring to this circle thing here with these bumpy cuts. So I took the original toe button to my friend Mike Rowley in Duchesne. He was a machinist, extremely talented machinist, and I gave him that original toe button and said, could you please duplicate this? And so he made 3 of them, so we've got 3 that are matching, brand new, and that's the only way to do that. There's no way to, nobody supplies toe buttons like that. Some of the supply houses, the piano supply houses, they do have toe buttons, but they're totally different design than this. So the only way to do that is to get it duplicated. While we're down here, we can have a look inside there. You can see the work under there. Everything is just clean, clean, clean. We've got a beautiful plate here. Beautiful soundboard that's been repaired. We suck it back to all the ribs. There's always some separation of the soundboard and the ribs on these older pianos, so we repair that, fix all the cracks, and lacquer it. And then we also have a new bridge cap here. The original bridge cap was falling off and cracked. So we duplicate what was there using a Mylar template so that it's exactly, the holes are exactly where the old holes were. Put that new bridge cap on, and got another 100 years for that bridge. A lot of those old-timey piano manufacturers had lots of designs and things all over their plates, so we duplicate some of those original designs. A lot of this is hand-drawn with an archive ink and automotive paint, automotive clear coat, making it super smooth and shiny and beautiful. This is all original hardware, and those we polish up. We just put them on the drill press, put these big bolts on the drill press, and then with these bolts spinning around, we start with 40 grit and go through every single grit all the way up to 2000, then buff them, and so we polish up the old metal. I don't think even when they were original they were shiny like this, but I think it looks great. I love how that looks. New strings, of course. We torque every single tuning pin as we go. We want at least 100 pounds of torque. 120, 130 is getting a little bit much, but it's still good. So we ensure that all of the torque is between 100 and 120 pounds of torque. We generally put in, so dampers, we always improve the dampening power, because these old turn of the century pianos, they ring quite a bit compared to modern pianos and therefore modern tastes. So we put longer dampers on the bass. We put triple dampers on there. They're quite a bit longer than what was there originally. And then we also put these tri-chord dampers, which is very tricky. You can see how you've got to really work that felt, iron it and coax it so that it dampens in between each string evenly, but it's very effective. Works really, really well. And now it dampens more like a modern piano than like a 100-year-old piano, which I very much prefer. Originally, when I started rebuilding pianos many, many years ago, I would duplicate exactly what was there, and I still think, for the most part, that's a good idea. Dampers, I don't think that's a good idea, because generally my customers will say, well, but it still kind of rings, and I would insist, but it's duplicated exactly what it was, and so I have every reason to believe that it was slightly ringy before, and it's always been ringy. So it's not that they've developed a ring more over the years, but that's just kind of how they were designed. But then when we do it this way, it's much more. There's no ring. It just shuts off like you would expect for, say, like that Yamaha C7 right there. The sound just shuts off immediately, and that was more modern taste. From if pianos are any indication of how that modern taste sort of developed, I'd say from maybe the 1950s, 1960s, definitely by the 70s, piano customers required that immediate shut off. We have these hammers on there, these new hammers. I really like using these hammers. They have a nice rich power. Oh yeah. That sounds great. Sounds so nice. Really, really pleased with how that piano turned out. Such a rich tone. It's yet another example of, I guess, proof that these pianos are not good for nothing but to be thrown in the trash. I hear that all the time, that people say we should just throw it away, but no, the piano sounds amazing. I think it sounds better than any U1 or Yamaha U1 or any modern piano you can find. It sounds amazing. I think in large part the design of the piano, but also it's 58 inches or so. No pianos are manufactured that big. I just have a lot of respect for the designers and manufacturers of 100 years ago. These guys really, really knew what they're doing. And when these pianos are restored, they are awesome.